Right guys, this is going to be another video on how to easily solo farm the 1080 Nightfall and obtain platinum rank on a hunter. For those that just want to see this run, then skip the time on the screen. The rest of it I can quickly show you what I'm using and what the modifiers are. So this week, I say it's the best farm in the game when it comes to Master and Grandmaster farms. Modifiers that we have on Master is Empath, Champions Unstoppable, Overlord, Famine, Equipment Locked, Match Game, Champions Mob, and this modifier we don't have to sort of deal with. The common sense run would just be to go Nightstalker, use Oppressive Darkness, go bottom tree and all that stuff, but since it's a long season, Oppressive Darkness is here till November, I want to start using other subclasses, as I'm not a person that just wants to stay on one class. Even if I'm playing all three, I don't like just to play Sentinel, Voidwalker and Nightstalker. It just, in the end, I want to start playing other stuff. You know, so this is why we're doing a run on Gunslinger. So we're using bottom tree, which enables your golden gun to critical hit, which is super important. So you need to be on bottom tree. We've got Swarm Grenade on and Gambler's Dodge. That's very important. Don't have marks when you need Gambler's Dodge on for this build. We paired that with Celestial Nighthawk as its high burst damage. Weapons first I'll talk about. So we have the exotic grain launcher Witherhoard, a Void Subtle Calamity, which is a world drop, and a 7 Seraph machine gun, arc machine gun. If you don't have this because you can't get it in the game now, then just get the Moon arc machine gun or use 21% delirium if you've got it. They're your alternatives. But like I said, this is a world drop, and this is obtained from the season pass. So these weapons are easily accessible apart from this, but there's nothing special about it. Any arc machine gun will do you. As far as our perks on our armor, so we had 3 raid mods on, which you can obtain these solo from the last wish just by entering the wish wall in and then going to where the chests are on all your characters, so you can obtain these mods. The mods that we had on, the taken mods, were taken Repurposing, we had taken Barrier, and we had taken Armaments. I'll talk more about these when I'm doing the run itself. Other mods that we had on, so we had Special Ammo Finder on, Bow Ammo Finder, because Famine's on. Bow Ammo is really important. We had load of perks on, Highish Mobility as well, just so that when we get our dodge back, we can get our knife back. Because our knife is our main use to stop unstoppables with Inferno Whip, which is off the season pass. So Inferno Whip stops an unstoppable with just solo melee charge. Other things, we had Machine Gun Scavenger, Arrow Scavenger on. We also had High Energy Fire with counter charge, so that we get a buff every time we stagger a champion. We also had Dire Artillery on, so when we get kills with Witherhoard, we get more super energy. But overall, that's the basics of what I was using. Okay, so like the video I done earlier in the week on the Titan, it'll be similar to that, where I try to give you as much commentary as I can for each section, explain the reasons behind each move, the angles they take and all that. This first part, we're going to have two arc shielded Centurions, a Phalanx that sits in the Blight, an Unstoppable, and a bunch of Scions. Since we're using an arc machine gun, we'll be using that of course a lot in this area. The arc shields and whatnot. The longer you leave the Scions, the longer they multiply as well, so just try and work on them. Eventually the Centurions will work their way over to the Scions, and you can take them out pretty easily. Plus we've got taken Repurposing on, so every time we take a shield, we get our grenade back, like so. That just makes it a top tier mod. I tried to sort of get ammo back, but the shield break. Killed the Centurion, so it's no big deal, but first we want to get the stick the Phalanx with a Witherhoard shot. One shot will kill him, and then we're going to come back to this area here to bait out the first unstoppable champion. I like to get 2 or 3 body shots before I stop him. If you miss your throw knife or hit his shield like I did, you can bait out a shield bash, get the dodge, get your melee back to then do the stop. The best time to stop the unstoppables is probably after you've baited out a shield bash. because they're not going to do it again. You've got that brief period of time. Sorry to do that. Always be around cover when you're doing this sort of stuff as well, as if you do make a wrong move and you're weak, at least you've got cover to hang back in. So there was a couple more scions that were at the back of the map that multiplied. That's fine, we can take them. Take note of any ammo bricks that drop if you've got full ammo, especially for Witherhoard. Just remember that they're there just for later if you do need them. As Famine's on, so you're not getting the ammo. You could run special ammo finisher. That's not something I had on, but you could do that alternatively. So we're not taking out any of the blights. We're going to deal with all the unstoppables first. What I'm trying to do here is isolate each champion, rather than both of them pushing me. Witherhoard can do a lot of damage even if the unstoppables aren't stopped. It still does quite a bit. We'll do a stop on this champion here, we'll get our dodge back while he's stunned. And if he boops us, as long as he doesn't boop you into a wall, you're good for that. Stop our champion here. What was weird with that, I just noticed that I used the Overlord bow on him and he glowed red, meaning that he was overloaded, but I don't know why that does that. If you hit the blights, it's just the same thing, has like a red aura around it. We'll stop our next champion, getting weak for the finish. Now because I've got taken repurposing on, when I get a finisher kill, when I take an enemy, I get my grenade back. So that's why I was doing that, and I do it quite a lot throughout the run. This is our next set of unstoppables, the last pair in this section. I don't have an unstoppable thrown knife, so I'm baiting out the champion next to this part of cover for that. I want to sort of use my super on one of the champs to save on ammo. Gonna stop here. Try to use a nade to get some ammo back. The unstoppable had just that much amount of health. These unstoppables aren't very threatening. They're not like the ogres or the hive or anything, so they're easily manipulated. And one shot, finish, and then we can come round to the last blight. Now we're going to start taking out the blights. Now the enemies, the next set of champions, the Overlords, snipers and stuff, they don't spawn in until all three blights, until the first initial blight's taken down. So it's a good opportunity to take these blights, because if you don't, all the ads are going to sort of be in the blight and around it. And it just plays into a strat later on in the run where we're going to have ads at the exit rather than next to a blight, because they're not spawning near the blight because there's no blight to spawn to.
Whatever's behind us must be underground.
Okay, so now we've spawned in all the snipers and stuff, so before we deal with any overlords, we'll deal with the snipers first. Always take things step by step. You don't want to be working on the overlord, like I said, so all snipers down. This is a good area to take out the sniper. Any bow will do it as long as you've got overload on. You don't need explosive head on your bow. This bow doesn't have explosive head on, but if you do have a bow with explosive head on, it does help out and takes out the champions a little bit quicker. Another good bow to use will be Point of the Stag, which is arc. It has Vorpal weapon on it, I think, which does work on champions. But you could run Point of the Stag with Hammerhead, where you avoid machine gun, and a run like that would work as well. Probably better than the setup that I had as well. Just taking out the small snipers. Get this sniper one shot for a heavy kill. a good angle. It's all about angles with these overlords, so just finding the best angle. You can dodge their attack as well. Just sort of need to know when to strafe. You can sometimes mess it up, like here, end up messing up a little bit, but there's no need for a super at this part, so we end up using it here. Missed out a crit, but that's fine. Overlords pretty weak. Now will all the Thrall would spawn in the Blight, they're here instead. We're trying to bait out a finisher kill to get a back, a heavy. One Witherhoard shot on the floor will generally kill them all, as you can just bait them into that pool, like so. We're full on ammo, always make sure you are. Like, if you've got any bricks in the previous zone and you're not full, go and get them. It's worth your time to do so. If you run a special finisher, it won't matter so much. So with this part here, all the solar captains, the Arc-Shielded Centurion, the Overlord, snipers, they all hang out at the exit, which is good in some ways, so you can Witherhoard. You want to try to get some shots on the goblins as they make everything immune. So, just try to spray Witherhoard here and there. Also, it's a good area to get your throw knife back, as I can get my dodge. I can dodge next to that crate and get my my throw knife, which is just one shot solar shield. So we do need to do that every now and then if I haven't got my nade to do it. The quicker you can take out the Centurion, the better, because he just keeps doing his orb move, so another thing. But this area is pretty safe, as long as you take it slowish, you can't go so quick. Obviously you don't want to be engaging with the Overlord Minotaurs at all. Your priority is these captains and the Centurion. Also at this part we could just skip, but you don't want to. Obviously you want the platinum rank, because you're more likely to get selling shards, more prisms, exotics and all that stuff, so you don't want to be skipping any champions. We'll kill the final captain, and now we can do the Overlords. You want to work out on a good angle. A thing to know about these Overlords is that the more damage you do, the more likely you are to enrage them. Right now here, they're not just sniping us, but they're doing their orb move on us. That's the best way to describe it anyways. Now that's fine, as long as you're in good cover. If you're not in good cover and you're doing a lot of damage, they can wipe you down pretty quick. That's the beauty of a bow. You never enrage them because of the damage that you're doing with the bow. It's not a lot, but you can gradually take them down slowly and safely. If you start doing Witherhoard and machine gun shots, you're increasing the risk of getting killed by them. If you know what you're doing and you're in good cover, then that's fine, you can do that. But if you don't, if you're like not as experienced with it, then just take them out with the bow. This part's a skip, so we just run past all the yards, pop our super, which we've saved for, and we'll super the yellow bar. He's the trigger for opening the door. None of the ads will push you from behind you. There's a couple of captains and stuff. There's no champions up there, it's just that yellow bar, so you're not skipping any of that. Now we're going to have another set of unstoppables. Do a thrown knife, and then we can dodge in that corridor safely to get our thrown knife back. Sometimes the champion will push you up, and we had a thrown knife for that. It's better to do your thrown knife from range. The closer you do it, the more likely Centurion or the unstoppable is to do a shield bash. There's different ways of doing it. So if your thrown knife does hit his shield, that's an immune and you'll have failed. I tried to hit his feet there instead of the shield, seeing that my timing was wrong, but still missed. That's fine. That's the beauty of having a highish mobility on this start. If you miss, it's fine. A couple of seconds and you get your dodge back to then get your knife. Now we've dealt with the unstoppables, we can deal with all the snipers, centurions, 2 orange bar phalanxes, and take them out from a distance with a bow. There's a wanted target as well, but just let the wanted target retreat. I mean, you're not needing points off the wanted target, so there's no point. In this part, in this section, we want to take things one step at a time. So first of all, we're dealing with the ions. Then we're going to jump up here and deal with the first overlord. This is a good angle to take the overlord from. As you can see here, if you just bow them down, they never get enraged. It's a safe way of doing it. That's why the bow, the overlord round, is the best on a bow. It's good on a hand cannon as well with explosive rounds. But a bow, it's safe from range. You can continually stagger them. You don't even need heavy. Obviously, you can use your heavy, you know, to speed it up a little bit. So there'll be a solar shielded major at the back, and he needs to be killed for the door to open. You can't skip him. We've saved our super for that. 1 golden gunshot will kill him. Then we can work on the scions below us, which they often multiply a lot in that room to my left. So you definitely want to be going in there to either take them out with your Witherhoard or your machine gun. Witherhoard's one of the best things. It's just one shot and it usually takes them all out, so it's good for that. Be sure to pick up any bricks. It's on the floor as well. Like I say, if you use a special finisher, then you're good that way. So the next overlord is on the bridge. We will end up enraging him, but we're in a safe sort of distance to do so. It's because of I mean, looking at it, other weapons do it as well, but Witherhoard's pretty bad for it. I think it's because of how much tick damage you do. You end up doing a lot of damage. Based on the damage you're doing to them, definitely. Okay, so the last 2 champions in this area, 1 unstoppable, 1 overlord. Now the overlord was peeking around that corner, so I just thought I would start working on him. It's not essential to get staggers on them. I could have run this without unstoppable, and Witherhoard would have been able to do the job. We're not worrying about the overlord yet. We'll deal with him last, as he's the one that needs constant suppression. As the unstoppables we can just work on gradually. Okay, so that's the unstoppable down. The overlord's enraged, so we're going to stop him to move past. Jump over the boot wall as well, just be careful of that. Knock you off the bridge. And then we'll just deal with the overlord from here. Same again, he's enraged, but we're in good cover for that. Then we'll go for any ammo bricks. And then we haven't got many champions left. There's 1 unstoppable left, and then the rest are overlord. This room can be a pain on the loadout that I've got. First of all, you want to take out all the adds, as the adds will make the unstoppable immune. That's your priority. There's a knight to your right as well that does his attacks, so just be careful of that. If you need to retreat, you can always come back here. The unstoppable can push you right the way, as you can see here. But you can juke him out like so. We're waiting for his shield bash first to then get the throw knife stop, and then golden gun gets him 1 shot. One thing you could do is save your golden gun shot, use Witherhoard on him, and then golden gun an overload up ahead, because this overload up ahead gives me a lot of problems just because of where he's running to, which you see. So I would advise save your super and golden gun the unstoppable that the overload that you're going to see in a minute. So before the overload, you want to take out the 2 Solar Knights that keep spraying you. Obviously the goblins as well, because they make the P targets immune. Okay, so the other side of the stairwell is another knight. We use a nade for that. And then Witherhoard. That's the Solar Knight done. Now the Overlord, it's random. Sometimes the Overlord will just stay staggered on this bridge. Sometimes not. It might have been because I was using Witherhoard. But the actual Overlord ran up the stairs. Which is not good because there's goblins up there and the goblins will make the unstoppable for the Overlord immune, like so. So this is where if I'd saved a super for this Overlord, I would have been able to super on the stairwell and be done with it. The best thing you could probably do at this situation is wait for the Overlord to run back down the stairs, to be honest. As he gets tethered again, I believe. So this is the only part of the run I would say is sloppy, not the best. As you can see, he's one shot and then gets tethered again, so it's just something you want to watch out for sure. Right here we're trying to bait out the Overlord back downstairs. I believe he just came back down. Luckily Witherhoard was keeping the Overlord weakish. And then now we can finally take the Overlord. Now we'll have another solar shielded knight with, say, that goblin causing the trouble. What we're going to do is wait for him to do his solar move because he just stands. He will not teleport out of your nade if you wait for that. That way you don't end up missing your nade. He's Witherhoarded as well, so he'll take that tick damage. Should be enough to kill him. Yep. Okay, so the next room we're going to have our only void shield to deal with. Because we've got a bow on for that. Before we deal with the wizard though, of course, we're going to take out all the ads, all the goblins. Gonna finish a kill here for our grenade pack. And we'll work on the shield. Once you took down the shield, generally one with our shot will just about kill the wizard. We do a couple of extra shots here and there. You want to be cautious of your ammo at this point as well, because you're approaching the boss and you want full ammo or fullish ammo for the boss fight, just to make it a little bit quicker. We'll do one with a hard shot here to take out all the thrall. And then we've got an overload. 3 more overloads, I believe. This is another good angle to take the overload without him hitting you. And then there'll be a bunch of scions in the middle, which we can just nade, use our machine gun. Your machine gun ammo isn't so much important. Witherhoard ammo is more important for the boss fight in this loadout. Since we can get ammo back from our nades and stuff, whereas with Witherhoard we can't, because of where we're going to be located at the boss fight. Okay, so these are the last 2 champions of the Nightfall. Pretty easy to deal with. You can bait out this champion with these stairs sort of thing. He'll try to snipe you, then he'll stop like that. Funnily enough, the sniper didn't enrage then, I don't know what, so he did at the end there, but I'm not sure whether it's RNG or what. It's definitely based on damage that you do, I would say. This last champion dealt with, now we've got the boss fight. This is just showing you how to easily farm this boss and do this Nightfall over and over on this loadout as well. The common sense run would be Nightstalker. You run Nightstalker with an arc bow and a void machine gun, or a void bow and, oh no sorry, a solar bow. You end up having a solar weapon on that way if you use a Nightstalker actually. It'll be solar arc. Okay, so we're going to get the boss to spawn in. This is the location, the ledge that you go to easily kill the boss every time when you get here. You jump to this rock here, and then you jump up to the little pipe, and then there's a ledge around the corner that you can jump to. And that's where you can do all your damage. That's why you want full ammo on your Witherhoard especially, as that's going to be your main weapon for DPS. We're just waiting for the boss to see what he does, because he teleports a lot often. I'm just waiting for him to stand still. Once he stood still, of our super, do our Celestial Nighthawk, and then we can start doing Witherhoard. That just saves on ammo, and we've done like a third HP already. The boss will get shielded as well by a couple of yards. That's what makes Witherhoard good. You can sort of DPS the boss and clear the yards as well. Use a bit of machine gun ammo since we've got plenty of it to save on Witherhoard. When he gets below half, he'll do this sort of phase where all the arena changes and he can openly tether you. He can tether you up here as well, depending on where you stand on the ledge. Be careful of the ads as well, they can still hit you. If you're getting hit a lot, just crouch. That's the best thing you can do. Couple more with a hard shot. The boss is pretty much dead at this point, so. And once the boss is done, you'll have you done. Like I got a shard there. He actually tethered me as I jumped off. Kind of funny, but that was basically a run showing you how to easily solo farm this Nightfall on a hunter without oppressive darkness or without a Nighthawk. Hope you enjoyed. Thank you.